Hey, sports fans. Welcome to Everything Sports with Bill and Will. And tonight we've got quite a bit to talk about, but we're going to start off with Dave Parker. Uh, 1 month shy of his Hall of Fame induction, unfortunately lost his battle with Parkinson's disease. Um, to me, Pittsburgh legend, played for Oakland A's as well. Do you want to run down his stats, Will?
Yeah, he's he's one of the best in his generation, one of the best of all time. With 290 batting average, 339 home runs, 2,700 hits, 40.1 WAR, 1,400 RBIs, and an 810 OPS.
And I believe he played in 2 World Series.
Yeah, he at least won two.
Okay. Yeah, so he's
MVP, 7-time All Star, 3-time Gold Glove, 2-time batting champion, All Star Game MVP, 3-time Silver Slugger.
Yeah, I think the Hall of Fame was kind of a long overdue. Me personally, for Dave Parker,
Yeah.
when I was growing up, uh, I just remember. I think we mentioned it last time. I was real big into card collecting as a kid, and back then, before the internet, that's how you found the stats of all the players, other than listening to the games. Well, I never really seen Dave Parker play in person, but I remember all his baseball cards and all reading all the stats, and I always thought what a great hitter he was. And I'm sure I've seen him here and there at all the All-Star appearances that he's made, because I frequently watch those as well. But yeah, I think it's long overdue. A lot of folks were saying that a lot of people get slighted from the Hall of Fame for not making certain milestones. Like Al Kaline, there was talk that he might not make the Hall of Fame way back in the day because he had 399 home runs.
Yeah, that's dumb.
It's still 399. What's one more? I mean, yeah, the milestones are great to have that. To say, hey, I hit 400, but 399 is still pretty darn close. Dave Parker, 339. That's still pretty decent as far as home runs. And in the 80s, it's pretty respectable. And yeah, I think it's long overdue. That's just me personally, and I'm sure the Pittsburgh fans really feel that it was long overdue.
I mean, yeah, if you look at his numbers and accomplishments, he has a Hall of Fame resume. It's just a shame he wasn't put in sooner. And I don't think we have much more to say about this other than we wish his family the best during this time. And RIP Dave Parker.
Welcome back, sports fans, and thank you for tuning in to the second episode of Everything Sports with Bill and Will. We're going to talk about the Tigers being the first team to 50 wins, Chase Burns mowing everyone down in his debut, 5 straight strikeouts. That's impressive. Cal Raleigh approaching Barry Bonds' record of home runs before the All-Star break, and actually quite a bit more. But before we get into all of that, I think we should do a quick update on Therese Halliburton from last week's episode. You want to take it?
Yeah, he had surgery on his ACL and he is looking to recover, but it looks like he's most likely going to miss all of next year.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah. And I mean, there was 3 ACL tears in the finals this year.
Wow. Well, and he brings such a flair to that team, so that's a huge loss. Huge loss.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really more to say on it. Just even more bad news for the Pacers.
Yeah, just want to give you folks an update, though, on what's going on with him.
Switching gears now to baseball, the Detroit Tigers are the first team to 50 wins. They're currently tied with the best record in baseball with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
52-32 as of this recording. So, and us being that being our hometown team, we're very excited. And in other Tiger news, Tarek Skubal has earned a win in each of his 4 starts this month, Only two other Tigers in the past 25 years have been perfect 4-0 or better in June. And of course, Justin Verlander was one. He was
Cy Young MVP season 2011.
Yep, and he was 5-0. And in 2011, Mr. Max Scherzer, who went 6-0 in 2013. So
His Cy Young season. So I mean,
yeah,
pretty big names to be associated with, and I mean he's been associated with them too, basically since his first year. I mean, he broke Justin Verlander's record for rookie strikeouts for Tigers.
yep. And he himself was a Cy Young Award winner last year.
And Triple Crown. Yep.
Triple Crown winner for pitching, yeah. So
Wasn't Verlander also the Triple Crown?
Verlander was, yeah. He was Verlander was the MVP as well.
Yeah, Triple Crown Cy Young MVP. That's a crazy stat line. Didn't he also pitch a no-hitter that year?
Not sure if it was that. He pitched a couple.
It was 2008,
That sounds
2011, and I think 2018. I can't remember now. He had no-hitters in 2007, 2011, and 2019. And I mean, just crazy career.
Yeah, another Hall of Fame career too.
Yep, 3,000 strikeouts. Just
Closing in on 300 wins. He's getting up there, and
yeah, he's almost at 3,500 strikeouts.
yeah, as far as wins go, I think he's what, 262 now.
Yep,
Something like that.
262 and 152.
So he's got a long way to go from three. I mean, when you're that close, but you're starting to slow down towards the end of your career. And I believe he's been injured this year, hasn't he?
Not really. He just hasn't been performing well. He missed all of 2021 with an injury, and has been sort of shaky
That may keep
ever
him-
since.
Yeah, that's a important year in that time of his career, because that could very well be
I
the
mean-
thing that keeps him from the 300. win
Never
mark.
mind. The year after he got injured, he won a Cy Young.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hell of a way to bounce back, but when you miss an
After
entire
that, he
year,
has not been the same after that year.
Yeah.
But he was also injured that year too.
and when you miss an entire year of your career, period, that does hurt your final numbers a little bit, especially when you're potentially
well-
at your close to the top of your game.
Yeah, after his 2021 season where he got injured, I'm pretty sure he had Cy Young or Tommy John. And he won the Cy Young. Then in 2023, he got injured a little bit. And ever since then, he has not played a full season. The most he has after 2023 is 17 games last year. And he had a 5.48 ERA. He has a 4.52 ERA right now this year over 61 innings. So yeah, he hasn't thrown 100 innings since 2023.
And he's still racking up the numbers. Still very impressive.
Yeah. Next, we're going to talk about Chase Burns and his amazing start to his MLB career against the New York Yankees. He struck out 6 of the first 7 that he faced. And
Impressive.
the first 5 in a row.
3 MVPs.
Yeah, 3 MVPs, Judge, Goldschmidt, and Bellinger. And it was an impressive start. It was very impressive.
Well, anytime you get 3 MVPs, I mean, that says something. But yeah, I think he's very energetic too. I've seen some of the highlights of him. He's very animated on the mound,
Yeah, he's insane.
which can be good or bad. It could, rile up the other players if they think he's showboating. But hey,
Yeah.
he seems like he's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, it was. I mean, 8 strikeouts over 5 innings in total. Pitched pretty well. I mean, against one of the best teams in baseball. I mean, you can't ask for much more. I think it was 3 runs that he gave up.
His minor league stats are pretty impressive too, even though it's minor league. It was ERA of, I believe, 1.7 something. It was pretty impressive. And, if that's any indication, he's going to be one to watch at least. But yeah,
There's a 1.77 ERA over 13 starts, a 0.77 WHIP, 89 strikeouts, and 13 walks.
Like I said, even though it's minor league, that's still pretty impressive. You got to start somewhere. So
I mean, it took him less than a year to get to the big leagues. He got drafted on the 14th of July last year and is now in the big leagues on the 24th of June for this year. And I mean, a really good outing, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts, 81 pitches. That's amazing for a rookie.
yeah, it's pretty good, especially against that team.
Yeah, 3 former MVPs.
A lot of power on there. Well, Judge is on a tear like always. So
At 30 home runs right now, had 2 today.
yeah. Yeah, which speaking of home runs, it's probably a good time to move on to Cal Raleigh closing in on Barry Bonds' record before the All-Star break.
Yeah, I mean, has a little bit of time left and has been hitting home runs like crazy.
What's he up to now?
He's at 32.
32. The record's 39 for Barry Bonds. And
From his 2001 season.
yeah. So, I mean, take it, whatever way you want, I guess. But steroids or no steroids, that's still impressive. 39 home runs before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And we'll see if Cal does it.
Judge might overtake him because he's been
They're
doing
both
so
close.
good.
Yeah, they're both close. And that's the thing with baseball. It comes in streaks. You get on a hot streak, then you go cold, then you get hot again. It's very rare you stay hot for, 162 games. It's just too long a season.
Yeah.
Just like we were talking about last week, the pace that Judge set, batting 400. And
He's not even close to it anymore.
he's not even close, but he's still,
Still
having
got the best average in baseball.
still having a hell of a season, though. So I think, we'll see what the end of the season brings and what the numbers are then. But he could be up. He could be going up for his second MVP in a row.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We actually have to look at that soon. We're over halfway through now. We can look at see who's the top MVP contenders.
Well, Judge has got to be a number one top
I think Cal
2
is
or
right
3.
now.
Cal, well, yeah,
As
he's
of
got
right
to be in
now.
the conversation, though.
Yeah, Judge is
At least
definitely number 2 for
yeah.
the AL.
Yeah, and then Ohtani, I think he's
Yeah.
going to get it again for the NL.
I mean, yeah, he's only pitching like 1 or 2 innings each start because he's still rehabbing because he didn't have a traditional rehab assignment from his I think he had Tommy John. He had reconstructive surgery, I know, on his elbow, and so he is only pitching. I think the most he's pitched so far is 2 innings, and he's been pretty well. I don't think he's given up a run yet. We can check that. But yeah, he's doing pretty well. And if he gets up to at least going like 4 innings every start, that's enough for it.
That's just the pitching side of it, though.
Yeah, he's also an MVP batting.
he's knocking the cover off the ball. So
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't have his stats in front of me, but stolen bases and I know he's up there in home runs.
Yeah, I
and
think
last
he's
year,
at 28.
50-50, man. So he's, that's hard to duplicate when you have such a great season that he had last year. So I don't think we'll see 50-50 this year, but you never know.
Oh, Ohtani's at 29.
Well, he's getting there. So
Oh, so he's given up a run this year so far.
okay. Yeah, he might
It's just 1.
he might surpass his home run totals last year. Where's he at for stolen bases?
Let's check batting. He is at 11.
Okay, so he's a long ways off his last year pace, but still hitting,
But he's hitting 29 home
Yeah.
runs, 54 RBIs.
still MVP
And he's
caliber.
rehabbing his arm.
Yeah, still an MVP
Still.
caliber season to start. So, and it's a long season. We still got half.
I mean, because
over half.
normally he'd have to go down to the minors and he would have to have rehab games down there. But since he's also DHing, he can't do that. So he's just throwing like 1 inning rehabs in the majors, which is just no one else is doing that.
Yeah, he's making it work.
Yeah, I mean, they put up a graphic on one of the last Dodger games. I can't remember what it was, but it was something that he was doing, and they put it next to all the stuff that Babe Ruth had done, and they were like, Babe Ruth has never done this, and just another thing that like just separates him, and just shows how crazy good he is.
Yeah, I agree. Well, while Cal Raleigh is racking up home runs for the season, Mike Trout is racking them up for the career. He's at 9 shy of 400. So,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah, and he's, again, I think he's a future Hall of Famer. And then we got Clayton Kershaw, just a few strikeouts shy of his 3,000th, which I think he's a no-brainer for the Hall of Fame. But
One of the greatest ever.
Stranger things have happened with the Baseball Writers Association. I've never been real impressed with them. And
I don't think anyone has.
The fact that I don't know where I just don't know where they get the standards for putting one guy in versus the other when it's not consistent. You got a guy like, and we talked about it in the first episode, but I think someone like Kershaw should be a no-brainer. He should be in unanimously.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a heck of a career. Guy like Nolan Ryan.
One of the best stretches in baseball history. I don't think anyone has ever done what he's done. Like the lowest ERA over like 6 years or something crazy like that. He has a sub-2 ERA over like 6 years. It might even be more. I have to check when I'm editing, but just an insane run, and he's probably not going to get a unanimous because no one does except Mo, because it's Mo.
Yeah, and Mo deserved it. He
was definitely the greatest closer ever.
He deserved it, but I'm thinking
other people did too.
Yeah, Nolan Ryan, Derek Jeter. I mean,
Derek Jeter was close. He was one of the closest.
The numbers are there. I think, and I get it. If there's a steroid, charge on their resume, then maybe that could prolong, them getting in, or maybe one of the sports writers votes a different way. And I get a lot of the talk on Pete Rose because he was banned for life, but I think
and he never admitted what he did for like decades, and then he finally admitted it.
Yeah, and
that was a lot of people's excuse. Like, he didn't own up to it, so why would we put him in? Which is like, I mean, yeah, I get that, but like,
the numbers are still there, though.
He's still the greatest hitter of all time.
Well, numbers wise, he's got more hits than anyone. There's so many good hitters out there. Tony Gwynn, I think, was a better.
Tony Gwynn's amazing.
Tony Gwynn was a better hitter all around. I think incredible. George Brett run.
I think Ichiro's a way better hitter. If he would have been in America the whole time, he probably would have had more.
Oh, no doubt.
I think he has more if you combine all of the numbers between Japan and America.
Ichiro was incredible, and I believe I don't remember what season, but he set the all-time single season homer or hit record.
I think it was 2001.
Yeah, he beat. I think it was George Sisler.
Yep, George Sisler.
So it's there's a.
It's 2004.
So I don't know that he's the greatest hitter of all time. I mean, his batting average for a career was pretty decent, and he was just known as Charlie Hustle. The man was always he was an electric player to watch. But
watching the old baseball seasons that I think was MLB Network did, it shows how amazing he was. Like they show clips from like old videos that they have in the archives. It's pretty amazing, and he was just everything he did. He was just awesome.
Oh yeah, he was a hard charger. He always head first slides. The guy was all. If you see any, I think we got a magazine somewhere too with him on the cover, and it shows him diving head first on the slide, and he was just a hard nosed, bare bones player, tough and gritty, and. Some of the way he played is kind of controversial. Some folks have some negative things to say about him, but I guess that's with any player in any era. So,
yeah.
But as far as Hall of Fame, I think he deserves it. And the he even had an interview, I think a few months before he passed, or maybe a month before he passed. He was convinced that they were going to put him in the Hall of Fame after his death. So he called it kind of,
Yeah.
and I was talking to, and this was probably last year, I was talking to somebody that was in the, on the voting board for the Collegiate Hall of Fame locally in Flint. And he mentioned that, you know, if you're not going to put them in the hall while they're alive, why even bother putting them in?
Yeah.
But you think about it, it's about a legacy that they leave behind. It's not just, and obviously getting in the Hall of Fame, that's a heck of an accomplishment for a career. And it's something, if you're enshrined in the Hall of Fame, you deserve that accolade. You deserve to be honored. But when you do it after they pass, it
Yeah.
doesn't do anything for them. However, I will say this: it is good for the fans. Fans of
Yeah.
Pete Rose that want to see him in, at least they get to
And the
honor him.
family.
But and the family. But it's still a shame that you're all these years and then you're going to enshrine him after he dies. Which again, it's not set in stone yet. He's not going in this year, but
Yeah. I mean,
I do think it's
also,
going to
like,
happen.
I can't even remember. I think it was like Rob Manfred did something, put out a release or whatever. Also unbanning the Black Sox from throwing I think it was in the 1919 World Series.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah, and Shoeless Joe Jackson and
Yeah, which, I mean, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Which, I mean, I get the reasons and everything, but he still should be in. It's been long enough.
yeah, I don't know when you bet it. When they threw the World Series,
You
though,
can
that's-
you can put that history in there too. It's important. I mean, talk about it, but
yeah.
like, you're not glorifying it. Just
Well, there's a
acknowledge
difference.
it.
There's a difference if you're throwing the World Series because that, I mean, that's a
that is different.
major thing. Or it's different if you're like Pete Rose betting on his team, but you bet on him to
Mhm.
win. Then there's a good chance you're going to play your heart out to win. If you're betting on
Yeah.
your team to lose and you throw it, then I mean, it's bad sportsmanship. It's just bad business all around. And you hurt your team, you potentially hurt the city. It's just, so I get it, but yeah, I mean, it's been so long now. I don't really have I don't have a preference one way or another. I think Pete Rose should be in. Black Sox, you know,
I mean, I think it's just been long enough. Like, who cares at this point? No one that was around and that was involved in the scandal is around anymore. Who cares? Like, it doesn't matter.
I'm good either way, actually, on the Black Sox, but I think, I do think Pete Rose should be in.
I mean, I don't really care about all of them. I just care about Shoeless Joe. I mean, he's iconic.
Well, yeah, Shoeless Joe, a memorable nickname. He was immortalized in Field of Dreams. So, you know, even the casual baseball fan probably knows who that is. So, yeah, again, either way, Hall of Fame or not, on that, I don't really have a clear preference, but sounds like you want to see him go in, so that's good. But they may or may not go in the Hall of Fame. Time will tell. And speaking of things that may or may not ever happen again, Alex Curry's Unbreakable Records. You want to touch on those a little bit?
Yeah, he MLB Network posted Alex Curry's top 5 unbreakable records. Number 1 is the all-time home run record, which, I mean, I think is going to be broken again. Nobody thought it was going to be broken when it was broken any other time.
It's true.
The next is Shohei Ohtani's 10-plus wins and 30-plus home runs. I think Ohtani is definitely going to do that again.
I think he's going to beat his own record.
Yeah.
If nobody else, he'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, every time he pitches, he gets better, it seems. And so, I mean, I don't see him not doing that. You know, he's getting healthier and he's pitching a lot better. So I don't.
Yeah,
see
and if
him.
not, even if it doesn't happen this year, I think it's going to happen again. The guy is
Yeah.
just too good to, too good for it not to happen.
Yeah. The third one is DiMaggio's hit streak, which I do believe that's probably not going to ever happen again.
Well, and again, records are made to be broken. And
Yeah, not that one.
no one thought Lou Gehrig's record of 2130 was going to be consecutive games played was going to be broken. And then Cal
Yeah.
come along and shattered the world record, not just the Major League record.
Yeah.
He broke the world record and then just all of a sudden one day took himself out of the lineup. But I mean,
Yeah,
that's an
crazy.
impressive record. And that one, again, records are made to be broken. And I do think I do think you're right. I think the home run record's going to be done again. I kind of think somebody could do the 56 game hitting streak, but I mean, we're a long ways from it.
People don't hit for average anymore.
Yeah, no one's been real close. And I mean, you get a 30 game streak and it's impressive. 20 game streak even, but
Yeah, I think the
56 is a lot. Pete Rose had a lot of hit streaks too. I want to say he had a 40, but
Pete
I could
Rose,
be wrong.
yeah, he did have a 40 game hit streak. It was in 70 something, I think. I just watched the baseball seasons episode on it.
Yeah, Pete Rose had a 44 game hitting streak in 1978, which
Yeah.
yeah, he still had a long way to go, but that is still an amazing accomplishment. So, what's the other ones on the list? What
The
else?
next one is starts as battery mates with Wainwright and Yadier Molina.
Is that one anybody cares about though? To me,
I mean, it's
It's
more like a
impressive, but-
longevity thing.
yeah.
Like Cardinals fans love it because it's
impressive,
I mean,
but
it's-
I wouldn't.
one of the best catchers over the last 50 years.
No, I agree, but
and one of the best pitchers.
that's not a stat I would go out of my way to search for. If you're fans of the
Yeah, I
fans of
think
that
only
city-
people who are really into baseball understand what that even means. And then the last one is complete games, which Cy Young
one I
has
think, yeah.
749. That is never going to happen.
Well, just the fact that there's no way you're going to be with these $1 million arms, multi-million-dollar arms, that they're going to let them pitch, a complete game every time they go out. It's just not going to happen. And that, I mean, different time too. When
Yeah, they were talking about having a rule to where you have to go 5 innings. You have to have your starters go 5 innings because so many just weren't.
I don't know if I like the fact that they can pull them if they have a couple bad innings.
Yeah, I
so
think the
I don't like that.
rule that they were proposing was you either have to go 5 innings or give up like 8 runs or something like that.
Yeah, I don't like some of the changes. I don't like the
Manfred Man,
Yeah, I don't like starting on second
that is
base.
so dumb. It is the dumbest rule in sports history.
And I get it. The games were going too long, but there's other things you can do. I don't like starting the guy on second base. It's just, to me, it just seems like an unfair advantage. And I get it. It's both teams would have it, but it's just, I don't know. To me, I don't like it.
Yeah,
But that is also the good and bad about baseball. The good thing is the game is never over until that final out. You could be down 10 runs and everyone starts to leave the stadium. And then next thing you know, you're listening to it on the radio. You found out your team come back from a 10-run deficit and to win the game. Now, it's very, very rare, obviously, for that.
the Rays just did that.
I know. Well, that's what I mean. The baseball, it's never over till that final out. However, that's the bad thing about it too, because it could take forever.
Yeah.
So it's good and bad. It's got pros and cons, but I mean that's the nature of the game. Well, they said 400 would never be achieved either, batting 400 for the season. But George Brett did it. I don't remember the year offhand. I know George Brett won 3 batting titles in 3 different decades, but he batted 390, and then all of a sudden Tony Gwynn comes along and bats 394. So it is doable. Judge probably won't do it this season from the looks of it, but he started off good. But that one, I don't know. What do you think? You think that one will be broken?
I don't know.
It's hard,
It
especially
just depends.
and especially today. And
Yeah, everyone's just trying to hit a home run.
yeah, and mechanics are different. There's a lot of different aspects to the game.
Pitching
than
is
there was
way
back
better.
then. Yeah, Oh,
I mean, overall, like back then, it was like five guys all pitching amazing for like 2 decades each, and now everyone is good.
you are right. Technology's way better. With all the advancement and all the technology we have.
I mean, they have so much stuff now. You can put in a pitching machine the exact pitching metrics for that exact pitcher, and then have it throw you what that pitcher would throw. And I mean, you couldn't do that back in the day. It's just someone trying to replicate what that person does, probably terribly, because most likely it's not a pitcher that's doing it because you don't want to hurt a pitcher. And, I mean, the technology that kids have access to now is so much like more than what kids back in the day had. You all like kids can learn today in like 5 minutes on a YouTube video what it took a big league or an entire like career to learn.
They had videotape too to to rewatch
Yeah.
themselves in the games.
Oh yeah, you have an iPad in the dugout now that you can
Yeah.
just watch your swing and I was dipping my shoulder. I was doing this. Whatever. And it's so much more technology driven now, and everyone's trying to look for the best edge. And it's just such a different sport comparatively to what it was 10, 15, 20 years ago, and even further back. I mean, the game is a billion years old.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. They had again, the most they had back in the day were radar guns, which started in the 70s and early 80s, and videotape. And now you have instant access to all of that stuff with the internet and all the gadgets they have out there now. It's just so much more in depth. There's just so much more that goes into the dynamics of the game, and there's a whole science behind it. And
Yeah, it was not like that back in the day. You did not have. It was mostly just a dude walking up there and being like, "All right, let's see where I can hit this."
yeah, now there's analytics that tell you,
Yeah, there's an entire department that tells you what this pitcher's going to do and why he's going to do it.
yep, and who hits him the best, who pulls the ball to left field. Right, I mean, there's all kinds of
Yeah.
stats out there that really help the players, and it would be interesting to see how if we had that back in the day, what difference it would have made. But
Yeah.
we have it now, so why
And
not
sometimes
use it?
they do use it too much. Like it is way too analytical driven when it's just like, hey, this guy's good right now. Just let him pitch,
Yeah,
which is sometimes very annoying, especially for some teams that have made it their entire identity to just be analytics and nothing else. The Yankees were like that for a while and it was very annoying. They wouldn't take any criticism about it until recently. They've gotten a lot better with that. But I mean, just like, there's a balance. You need a balance with it. Sometimes you just need a guy to go up there and swing the bat. You don't need to think about a million different things. Because that's what Mickey was. He never thought about anything. That's all he did. He just went up there and saw the ball and hit it.
a lot of videos of him. He's just laid back, casually, joking
was just
around
having
with the
fun.
fans. I remember I seen one. He was had to reach over the bleachers or reach into the stands to get a ball, and he ended up hugging the guy
Oh, I
because
saw
he was
that.
so
that's
close,
awesome.
just for the heck of it. Why not? And yeah, he's good interaction with the fans. It was Miguel Cabrera was one of a kind. I think no doubt Hall of Famer as well.
Yep.
3,000 hits, 500 home runs, one of the very few to do it. And at one time, I think he was the best hitter in all of baseball.
Just got injured for a bunch of years in a row.
Would have been, and Triple Crown.
He had 1,800 RBIs. Almost 1,900.
Yeah.
That's crazy good. 306 career batting average. Just amazing.
Which is really
3,100 hits.
Yeah, and that's lifetime batting average because the usually the first year is not great, and your last couple of years you're slowing down and they're not great. So to average and still have over 300, that's really good.
I mean, his rookie year wasn't bad. It was really good. 12 home runs, 62 RBIs, a low batting average, but after that he brought it up basically every year.
Was on his first hit a home run with the Marlins.
I'm pretty sure he also had a home run off of Clemens in the playoffs. I think it was.
Yeah, and he
Might have
won.
been the World Series.
Yeah, and he made the playoffs his first year. So
Yeah, he
gotta
won a
love that.
ring his first year and then never won one again, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, and that he was with Detroit, so that's kind of a sore spot. But yeah,
Yep.
we had he had a good run though. He had a great career.
Yeah. I mean, one of the best hitters of all time.
Yeah, Miguel Cabrera was a class act, and to go totally opposite side of the spectrum on there to a classless act. Well, you want to take it?
I mean, yeah, we're not gonna spend too much time on it. I think everyone's kind of beat this drum all week, but the Ketel Marte incident just very messed up scene. People didn't know what happened until I think the next day. He was just crying on the mound, and during a pitching change, and you found out someone said something about his mom, and he lost his mom to a car crash, and it was just something that kind of went too far. And then the manager of the Diamondbacks had some words with the fan, and he didn't seem to really care the way that it affected Cattell, and he was eventually escorted out and then banned from every MLB stadium for his behavior and just the way he handled the situation.
Yeah, I think I mean, obviously you pay to see the game, but you should still conduct yourself like a normal human being. There's
Yeah.
no call whatsoever to belittle the guy about his mother that passed away, and I don't know
Especially
how much.
after
Yeah,
being told his mother died, and then you're still acting like an asshole. It's just the whole situation
yeah,
was just messed up.
and I get me personally. I don't think I wouldn't even think of belittling any player for any reason. Like when Verlander came back, when he took the trade and went to Houston, he was getting booed, I think, for a minute there in Detroit. Fans weren't happy with it. That I kind of get. But even then,
I mean, that happened with Juan Soto in the
yeah.
Mets when he came back to New York. He was booed for 3 straight games, and they turned his back. They
Well, and it
turned their
happened-
backs to him in right field.
Well, and then in basketball, a famous incident, LeBron James left his team and came back, and they booed him pretty relentless for a while there.
The Cavs, Cleveland hated LeBron for about a decade until he came back and won him a championship.
And I get it. When you're a franchise player like that, and then you leave willingly, be different if he was forced out in a trade or something like that. But when you leave willingly, it hurt. The fans, they hold a grudge over that, and some can hold
Yeah.
it for a while. But so I get that. But even then, I wouldn't boo the guy if he's a good player. Is a good player no matter what team he plays on. And obviously, the goal is to get your team to the playoffs, to the championship, to the big game. But so that I understand. But even that can be taken too far when you start throwing stuff at people. That's uncalled for. When you talk about somebody's deceased mother, especially after you've been told, and I would even be okay if Major League Baseball allowed the guy to come back if he apologized and he actually meant it. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, even like,
He's banned for life.
yeah, even I saw a couple of people saying like they should review the ban in like a couple years and see if he has the same feelings about it. And if he does, then just keep him banned. But like, I don't really know.
I think an apology is.
Yeah, especially
He needs to apologize.
yeah,
If he
that's the bare minimum.
apologizes, that's step one, and then maybe
Yeah.
you can talk about reinstating him. But he's banned from every major league club
Yeah,
in baseball. He can't come in. He can't come back to a single game,
yeah.
single stadium anywhere in the country. So
Yeah, and even when he was being ejected, he was still like, for what I said about his mom, and he was like being very like dismissive about it. So yeah, he just didn't really take any sort of accountability for what he said and the way it affected a player, especially one that had lost his mother in a very tragic way, and then to continuously harp on it, It was
yeah,
extra.
I agree. Yeah, and I think we'll close out that segment. We just wanted to touch on it a little bit because it was a big story last week,
Huge story for 2 or 3 days.
and I do like even though he wasn't in his home ballpark, White Sox put up a little note on the jumbotron in honor of him, and the fans, a lot of the fans anyway, wore T-shirts saying he's our MVP. So
Yeah, I like that a lot.
in Chicago, I believe the statement was something along the lines: "We're baseball, yeah, baseball is family. The White Sox community supports Ketel Marte, so good for them." And that's
Yeah, I really like that they did that.
yeah, it's even though it's not their guy, it's their family member basically. So pretty good. So next, we want to talk about the Robo Umps. Fan or
Yeah.
not? Are you a fan of it?
Uh, Initially, I wanted complete robo umps because the umpires in Major League Baseball are terrible. Uh, I can't remember who it was, but someone set a record for, as long as they've been tracking it, for the worst strike call ever since they've been tracking it for the last couple years. Um, it was one of the worst pitches ever, and they continuously are getting worse. I think it was yesterday, in the Royals game, they set a record for this year, the most amount of missed calls in a game.
Oh, wow. When we talk about history, Jim Joyce and Armando Galarraga.
One of the worst blown calls ever. The perfect game. I
And
think it was 2008.
I remember that game when they called it. We were watching it. In fact, I believe I was upstairs watching it, and I came down to talk to your mom and tell her about it. And she's kind of semi into baseball, especially when something historic is happening. So we watched the last few innings of that game, and we were about ready to cheer when he got that last out. And the thing I remember the most is Miggy's mouth just dropped. He was at first base.
When you look it up, one of the first thing that pops up is Miggy's reaction to it.
Everybody was shocked. And of course, the fans, whether it was a good call or not, which it wasn't, and the whole stadium was just, yeah, that's a good picture there. That call, even Jim Joyce, he watched it later and was almost in tears. And he said, it's a history call, and it was a bad call. So,
Yeah.
but I think Galarraga got more out of that not getting the perfect game than he did if he actually got it. They give him a car, they give him a whole ceremony the next day.
I think he'll eventually get it. It's such a, like, if you ask random sports fans about it, they will talk that it is a perfect game. Everyone already says that it is. It just needs to become official and put an asterisk by it. Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Just
20, yeah,
acknowledge it.
28 batters faced, 88 pitches, 67 were strikes, 21 balls.
That's so good.
Very, very dominant and very
It's a
efficient
Maddox.
too. Yeah,
He did a Maddox.
pretty much.
Complete game shutout in less than 100 pitches. That is one of the most efficient ever.
Yeah, one of the things that comes up, I can still hear Rod Allen asking, "Why is he safe?" over and over again.
Yeah,
So,
I every time I hear that, I just remember it.
yeah, Rod Allen. Oh, I loved him. But stuff like that, the Robo Umps would be great. I mean, you don't lose those calls again. And
I mean, yeah, that's one of the reasons that they added the replay system, was specifically because we wouldn't have had that call. You could have replayed it. You could have just replayed it if we would have had that system in place. Like, I think football already had it at that point. Like, you could have just had it.
yeah, well, I think a lot of the arguments against that and against instant replay were it takes the human element out of the game. But humans are flawed.
Yeah, humans
design.
can't make perfect calls.
Yeah.
A computer can. Like, we can. They have tracks or tracking chips in, like, golf balls and all this other stuff, so they can track where the ball is going. And they're doing that now for football because of Josh Allen clearly having a first down and it not being called in the Chiefs game last year. Like, stuff like that happens all the time. That easily just wouldn't have happened if we would have had systems in place.
No, I agree 100%. But when we talk history calls, that's the first thing that comes to mind because I'm still a little bitter over it. But
Yeah,
the guy got a lot of recognition
I'm
for
bitter
that.
about it, and I don't even remember it.
Yeah, well, it was
Would have been the only perfect game in Tigers history.
yeah, but it
That was our guy.
was our guy, and I think the robo umps have it's got merit.
And it's not complete robo umps like some people were talking about, which I was one of the ones that was pushing that very heavily. You can I wanted it to be complete robo umps. Give him a little freaking phone and have him just call balls and strikes the way he normally would. But he is not one that's making the decision. A computer and a chip in a ball is making that decision because they're humans. Our eyes are not very good. And you're looking at a ball going 102 at some time. And some people are getting up to 108 in the minors now. Like, you're not going to be able to accurately make an assessment on whether that ball is just a hair above where it's supposed to be or where it's not supposed to be. And
Split second. too.
yeah. And you have to make it right then and there. And you can't go back on it because that's not a thing. You can't do that in MLB umpires. You have to stick with your call.
And if you blink or sneeze, it's
You're
done.
Yeah, you can't make the call. And that happens all the time. We see that all the time. The umpires walking up to each other just to have a meeting. Did you see that? No, I missed it. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
John Boy calls it out a lot. They tested out the current system that they are going to use, which is they're calling the ABS, the Automated Balls and Strike System. And it is not complete robo umps. It is a challenge system similar to the current challenge system that we have for outs on the bases, where you have a certain number, and if you're wrong, you lose it, and if you're correct, you get another one. Which that you'll still have bad calls. We had a bunch of bad calls in the postseason with the current challenge system that we have. So it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. And
Yeah, they got to do a beta test. So.
they did the beta test in spring training this year, and it worked pretty well. Jazz got thrown out already for doing the sign to challenge the pitch during the regular season. A couple people have.
Yeah, and I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think they should be thrown out for that, but whatever.
That's just so funny. Umpires are so soft in baseball now. So I think I remember watching
Everybody's
Yankees
got
getting
feelings
Jazz,
for some reason.
Jazz doing that and getting ejected.
Yeah.
And so that system they tried out last year. I think they're going to vote on it this offseason if it's going to be implemented next season, which hopefully it is. I mean, a couple announcers have already hinted that it's most likely going to be a thing because of how many people are on board with it, how many people liked it in the preseason. And yeah, I think it's most likely going to be a thing. And something is better than nothing, but I don't think it goes far enough.
All right.
All right, we can go on to the terrible, terrible jerseys.
Yeah, those jerseys are so ugly. Half numbers, half. Yeah, I don't like the look of it.
The City Connect jerseys, a lot of them are just bad. They've already redesigned several of them because fans hated them, and just I don't know why they continuously try to make everything look different. Like, the old logos are fine. Like, we don't need to change things a billion times. Like, it's fine to keep things the same sometimes.
Well, the last game we watched, it looked like the pitcher had a question mark on his jersey, and it was a 2 because it cut it off. It just looked ridiculous.
It was Kershaw. His jersey looks weird. I don't like his.
It
22.
was Kershaw. You're right. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't like those jerseys. I only like one of the Dodgers jerseys right now because it's the original jersey of the Dodgers that they've had forever.
Would be awesome to see him get his 3,000th in a throwback jersey, but probably not going to happen. But he's definitely going to get 3,000. I think his next album.
I hope he's doing it at home, and I hope he wears a regular jersey.
It'd be nice for the fans to see it. I mean, either way, milestones are so awesome when it's done on the home turf. But
Mhm.
any stadium, I think he's going to get a standing ovation for that because, again, that's sportsman. You know,
I mean, yeah,
that's
Mickey got a
history.
standing ovation for his 500th.
And he
at,
should have, yeah.
I think it was the Blue Jays ballpark.
Even
for
though
the
it's
name of
against
it.
your team, when someone hits a
Rogers
milestone
Center.
like that, future Hall of Famer, you know,
Yeah.
you stand up and cheer.
Yeah, you're witnessing history. You're a part of something that you can tell your grandkids about. One of the craziest milestones.
You can
ever.
boo him the next time up, but you cheer for the 500th or 3,000th or
Yeah.
whatever the case is.
All right. Lastly, tonight, our final segment is just a little bit of trivia. And since we already told you about Mike Trout closing in on his 400th career home run, who are the 5 other active players in Major League Baseball with 350 or more career home runs?
All right, sports fans, I believe that about wraps it up for us. But feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us how much you love us or hate us, either one. A comment's a comment. So hopefully it's love. but-
Engagement's engagement.
Yeah, so let us know what you think. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a comment, and we'd be happy to answer them.
And here's the random clip of the week.